Season openers go and first games of coaching career go, that's got to be right up there as far as maybe favorite memories already instantly for you.
Yeah, it was a special night. It was a strange night, in a lot of ways. There's a lot of exciting things with the fans back in the stands. We had talked about that and the energy from that, and then seeing Matisse's family, that's tough on a lot of guys. We had talked yesterday as a group, just things that we may go through. It was a tough game. It was and you got to be careful, but I don't think we played that well. I really don't. Like we found ways to score, and that's awesome. I think we have such a better game in us, but not here to criticize the guys. You put up 8 goals. I think their goalie would want some of those back. It was a rough night, but Elvis was really good for us. Who knows where that was going to go with him. He was very emotional, with Kivi's things. So, yeah, it was a strange 8-2 win. Happy to get the win, no question. Lots of work ahead of us here, but yeah, it's just there was a lot of real positives just watching the excitement of the fans in there and the guys, enjoying it and being together. That was neat, and for Matisse, and his family.
Lars, how do you instruct your players to go through something like that? Because you want them to be present and feel the memorial to Matisse. Then they've got 10 seconds later, 15 seconds later, a game to play.
Yep.
What's the secret to doing that?
There is no secret. There's no playbook for it. You can talk about it, but until you go through it. And because every guy's going through something different, too. From Elvis to even our goalie coach with Manny to players that were close, maybe not as close, and then new faces, so they're kind of oblivious to some of the stuff. There's such a different dynamic when you're going through that. So there is no right words, and that's why I wanted to talk about it yesterday. Just try and get in front of it a little bit and do it more intimately and privately rather than on game day. But again, tonight, I didn't think we were very plugged into the game as far as like our details. We were making mistakes that we were in all of preseason we weren't. So it kind of just showed me that there's a lot going on. I think as season openers anyway, there's always a lot of emotion, and you're always trying to harness that emotion and direct it the right way. But yeah, it was a strange game. Arizona played a heck of a game. It's strange to say it 8-2, but they did. They put a lot of pressure on us. Elvis was really good at key moments, and we found ways to score. That was the difference.
A lot of the preseason storyline is about Patrik Laine. What did you see from him tonight?
He was just okay, but and again, this isn't picking on Patty. I think a lot of guys were kind of trying to find their game. Our pace wasn't there. Our skating legs weren't there. I think we were forcing some things, and he's had a tremendous camp, and so, I think he's got a better game in him, and I think a lot of guys in that room have a better game in them as far as the team game and what it's supposed to look like and how the pace of play. But I'll go back. We're at game 1, and I'm not going to sit here and get all over it on an 8-2 win. It's just how I feel. I don't know how else to explain it. It was a strange. I've never been part of an 8-2 game like that. I'll be honest. I've won 3-2. Goalie made 50 saves. I've been something strange like that, but 8-2, kind of everything was just going in at the right time, and Elvis was great. So happy to win. Obviously happy for the guys to win. Happy for Elvis, Matisse's family, everybody involved, the fans. They're back. They're having a blast. You score 8 goals at home. That's fun, right? Everybody's having a ride there. So, but we got a lot of work to do here tomorrow and just figure some things out here for Saturday.
Brad, how proud were you of the scraps and the scrums at the other end of the ice? You seem to be playing for one another a lot tonight. Maybe protecting Elvis, but for sure, but playing for one another, protecting one another.
Yeah, we that's got to be part of us. We got to step in for each other, and whether it's just playing for Elvis, for your teammates, and there's some big guys on the other side there too, and we want to make sure we're pushing back also.
A lot of this, you talked about wanting to clean things up. There's a lot of that defensive zone coming out, because there were times where you spent a lot of time down there. Was it all over the ice?
There's a lot of areas. There really is. Again, just some really mental mistakes, and I'm not going to get into all of it, of stuff I hadn't seen all preseason. And I mean that in practice or the games. It was, but again, you got to understand. I think like I was explaining earlier, there's a lot of different layers of engagement, different engagement stuff going on in their mind, season opener, Matisse. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I'm surprised at the outcome, just that we filled a net like that and got some fortunate bounces. But, but hey, someone said you never criticize a win. And it's not criticism. It's you enjoy the wins for sure. But I know we have a better game. I do. I know there's lots there that we can clean up.
Power play did score 2 goals tonight. And the first one, I don't know if it was by design or not, but Line A ends up at the point. Werenski's on the left wing. Goal happens. I know in the preseason teams were really overplaying Line A in that left wing a lot. Was that by design?
Oh, yeah, that's design.
Yeah, get him moving around, right?
Yeah, you know what? These guys get creative too, and we talk about, a guy like Lanny. If you've ever watched Washington, and they try to free up Ovechkin and roll him to the top. So these guys are always talking, and I think now they've been working together for almost a couple of weeks now. They start to, go to plan B and C sometimes if they're taking away plan A. So these guys they're sharp. It's great to see success in the power play, really get a couple goals. It's always good to score goals. We know that. That's good for your confidence. It's good for your mojo as a team. But, the whole spectrum here, there's lots to improve.
Passing ability, which is kind of underrated a little bit or overlooked because of his shot. Does that sort of allow him to play at that point?
Patrick, you're talking about?
Yeah, Line.
Yeah, no, Patty's a tremendous passer. I don't want him passing much. I'd rather him just getting rid of it and loading up and using that shot because it's so dangerous. But one thing, he can pass a puck. There's no question.
Lars, your team do anything for you in the locker room afterwards to mark that first win?
Yeah, they were good to me. Yeah, they were special night.
Anything you'd like to share with us?
No, I'll keep it in there. They were good.